What's happening, everybody? Here we are, another Thursday night on the grind, coming at you live via YouTube. I sent the link, copied the link over to Facebook, so let's see how many viewers we get tonight. I will say this, though. Man, I've been doing this, hey, so 18, 19, 21, 2, 3, 4. I've been doing this for 6 years. And it's just like I'm starting all over, going over to YouTube. But I have plans. What's up, Uncle Bruno? But I have plans. I have plans to get this show bigger and bigger and bigger, and hopefully bring in some bigger names and interviews over the next couple of months. As you all know, we're going to be in Chicago 1 week from today, and there will be no show next Thursday night, but there will be live videos all day Friday, all day Saturday. We're specifically going up there to interview the builders in Chicago at the World of Wheels and the Cyclerama show. So this banner will be there next week. But anyway, let me start tonight off and say thank you to all of our sponsors and give them their shout outs. First up tonight is our good friends over at Hopkins Design, hopkins-design.com. When it comes to websites, logos, business cards, printed material, magazines, whatever, you need something done for your company, Hopkins-Design is where to go. As you can see on the screen, it's print, web, logos, photos, videos, drone footage. The guy's just amazing at what he does. So if you need anything website or branding related, please reach out to Earl Hopkins at earl@hopkins-design.com. Go see him on the website at hopkins-design.com and let him know Kevin sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Urban Rides Magazine, urbanridesmagazine.com. What can you say? Urban Rides Magazine and their affiliate, Street Bagger Magazine, both great magazines. You can go online, get digital copies. You can also go online and request hard copies that will mail them directly to you. Great magazines. If you're into the audio world at all, you're into the custom bagger world at all, you've got to go check these guys out. Urban Rides Magazine on Facebook and urbanridesmagazine.com. And you can also find Street Bagger Magazine at the same address. Next up, our good friends over at J&D Custom Polishing and Plating. J&D Custom Polishing Plating. When it comes to chrome plating, nickel plating, copper plating, silver, 24 karat gold, these are your guys. You need it polished, you need it chromed. They can do everything you need. J&D Custom Polishing and Plating on Facebook, and there's the number on the screen, 651-251-7400. Reach out to them and let them know Kevin with the grind sent you. Next up, our good friends over at Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine. Any of your bike builders up in those areas, stop by, get you a copy of the magazines. They're free. They're awesome. You can also go to Indiana and Northern Illinois Thunder Roads Magazine right here on Facebook and check them out. Get you a copy. If you're in those areas, it's a great magazine to have. Next up, American Drag Seats, americandragseats.com. You need custom motorcycle seats, period. We are your guys. From making our own products for American Iron Horse motorcycles, our products for all the Harley upgrade seats. As you guys see, we're all over the internet now with the brand new 2024 CVO Road Glide STs. We have those seats available. We're ready to go. Reach out to americandragseats.com, or you can find us on Facebook at American Drag Seats /Attitude Inc., or you can go to Instagram and find us at American Drag Seats on Instagram. But you need custom motorcycle seats, we got you covered. Next up, our good friends over at Jade Affiliated. It's jadeaf.com. Go check them out. You need Harley Davidson custom wheels. Those are the guys you need to see. They have some of the most badass wheel combinations and setups you could possibly want for any of your Harley Davidson motorcycles, any of your custom bikes. You want to build a custom chopper, bobber, they got you. They can take care of you. Go check them out at jadeaf.com. jadaffiliateaf.com. And you can hook up with them on Facebook also at Jade Affiliated on Facebook. Next up, Legacy Bike Works. Legacy Bike Works. You want custom stereo work, you want custom bike builds, you want metal fabrication, you want bobbers, choppers, doesn't matter. We do it all right here in Manville, Texas. You can reach out to us at Legacy Bike Works on Instagram and Facebook, both. Next up, our good friends over at Shy South Customs. Bikes, cars, trucks, hot rods, ShySouthCustoms.com. Custom paint, custom bike builds, maintenance, service, repairs. They do it all. Hook up with them at ShySouthCustoms.com. Next up, our friends over at Lift King. LiftKingProducts.com. Specialty automotive collision restoration paint and body equipment, specializing in automotive and motorcycles. These are rack systems. They hold the parts while you do the body work, while you do the paint work. They secure it safely, and everything folds up when you're not using it and stores away in a corner. It's all good stuff. Go check them out at LiftKingProducts.com. Next up, our good friends over at HellSpeedShop.com. As you can see, I'm wearing red, my red Hell Speed Shop. Man, they make the best flannel shirts money can buy. Point blank, period, the end. You got to go to HellSpeedShop.com. Go check them out. They're dropping stuff left and right. They just dropped the Shamrock, which I just got mine in the mail. I didn't wear it tonight. I was planning to wear the red, so I'm wearing the red, but you will see me in that Shamrock. Dudes, when it comes to any type of flannel shirts, there's a lot of people out there, but I'll tell you what, I've had one from just about everybody, and hands down, bar none, HellSpeedShop.com. They have the best flannel shirts, best quality. They breathe good in the summertime. They breathe and hold in the heat in the winter times. It's a good all-around flannel shirt. Go check them out at HellSpeedShop.com, or you can get them on Facebook at HellSpeedShop on Facebook. All right, guys. So tonight's show is going to be a little different because it is actually a piss, bitch, and moan session tonight, and I don't have anybody to interview. I'll be out of town next week, but the reason I want to talk about the topic I'm talking about tonight is because there is not a single person that is not guilty of it. It is a very bad habit. It's a very hard habit to break. And if anybody tries to tell you, no, that's not me, that's not the way I am, they're lying to you, because they are. So secret haters. Have you ever done something or built something or anything and you were afraid to show it? You were afraid to put it out on the interwebs because you were afraid of the backlash you would get, because either at the level that you're building, sewing, fabricating, whatever you're doing, you're afraid that people are going to make fun of you for what you've done. Well, the people making fun of you are what I call the closet haters. They're the people that, for any number of reasons, just flat ass want to see you fail. What's up, Pat Price? Nancy Weems, my brother's in the house. But they're the people that want to see you fail. If you're watching the show, please leave a comment so I know you're watching, and let me know where you're watching from. I'm starting to track this stuff, and I really want to keep up with everybody that's participating on a weekly basis. Back to my piss, bitch, and moan. So anytime you do anything, there's going to be backlash, because there's always going to be somebody that's either jealous of what you're doing, or they're going to be jealous of how good you've become at it. But we all know, everybody knows, you're not a master when you start. You're just not. You're going to make crap. But your passion and your drive to become good at what you do, that's where becoming a master that's such an integral part, because you can't give up. I really wish I had the very first seat that I made. I wish I had the very first set of flames I stitched, or the first inlay I did. I wish I had these things so that I could literally show what 20 years of honing this craft means. Um, there's so many nights and so many things that went into where I am today that if I had to show every person and I had to show everybody every single thing I've ever done, it would be embarrassing. There would be some stuff that I've done and I've built with my own two hands that at the time I was really proud of. But if I look back now at it, I kind of cringe and I'm like, oh my God, what the hell was I thinking? Uh, yeah, that's true. But there, but it's I kind of compare everything two ways. One, there's a ladder you have to climb. You start at the bottom. I don't care who you are. There is no way you can start a ladder in the middle of the climb. You just can't. Everybody has a starting point, the very beginning, the very first time, the very first try. As you go and as you go and as you go, there are going to be people in your corner that support you. That's why they call it a learning process. You're damn straight, brother. But my point is that when you get to a certain level of doing stuff, you become comfortable. You get outside of your comfort zone and you get better. But there is a point when you become comfortable with what you're doing. I've gotten comfortable with certain seats that I do because I manufacture them all the time. I do these seats at least 10, 20 times a year. I'm doing this exact same seat. And there's only about 15 of them that I do repeatedly over and over, but I manufacture those seats. But if you look at the very beginning when I first started manufacturing, compared to the ones I do now, you would hope that they look very similar because they're manufactured, which means it took a long time to work out all the bugs, do the R&D, make sure the patterns were right, make sure the fiberglassing was right, make sure the hardware was right, make sure the covers were correct. But there is that point where you start and you're like, man, what is it going to take? Repetition, over and 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 over, and doing it repetitively to the point where it becomes second nature to do it. And even at that point in time, you're susceptible to slip up and make errors because you got too comfortable. But what I'm referring to tonight is, let's say somebody wants to become a bike builder, because that's what everybody's doing now. I mean, that's what this whole show is about. It's about people in the industry, builders, enthusiasts, upholsterers, painters, blah, 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 blah. It's about all of us. But let's say somebody sees a bike that somebody else built and they're like, man, that seems so cool. I want to do that. I want to try that. So they go to this guy that they were influenced by and they're like, hey man, I want to be a bike builder. I want to learn this craft. Well, there's only going to be two responses from that guy. Either A, he's going to be like, oh, no, you can't do that, man. This is taking me 50 years to get this good. Blah, 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 blah. Or he's going to say, hey, you know what? That's cool. If there's anything I can do to help you, let me know. That's the only two responses you're going to get. You are not going to get somebody say, oh, okay, whatever. That's not a response. They're not going to give you that response. They're either going to tell you, no, you can't do it, man. I've taken 20 years to get where I'm at. Or they're genuinely going to tell you, hey, yeah, I'm here, man. If I can answer any questions or do anything to help you, let me know. The reason I bring that up is because over the last year, because Legacy Bike Works is just a little over a year old, we have literally been kicked, poked, prodded, made fun of, been called out, all kinds of shit. And it's the reason I'm even saying this is because it literally it amazes me on a daily basis the support that I either get or the support that I don't get. And it's crazy to me because sometimes you get the support from the people you never thought would ever support you doing something like that. And then you get the backlash from people that you swore would have your back, want to take care of you, want to nurture you, want to help you succeed. Now, I could sit here and I could say all names and I could say all kinds of stuff, but the reality is it doesn't matter. The point is you're going to get them both. But you have to make up your mind. Are you going to be the guy that suffers through? The way I look at things is not the way other people look at things. The way I do things, not the way others would do those things. But I know when I want something, I'm literally willing to work to get what I want. It's one thing most of my family and my really close friends, the ones that I've known for more than 20 years, most all of my friends are like, dude, you could fall ass backwards in a pile of dog shit and come out smelling like a rose. And in one hand, that's a compliment, but it's also a put down. The reason I say it's a compliment is because that means they've seen me succeed. They've seen me do it. But it's also a put down because it's like, well, dude, you could fall ass backward in a pile of dog shit and smell like a rose. It's like nothing bad can happen to you. But they aren't here working every night when I'm working. They're not here as I sew up a seat and the fucking thing ends up crooked and I got to completely tear it apart and redo it and make adjustments. They're not here when I'm learning how to lay fiberglass or I'm learning how to foam up a custom seat. They're not here when I'm figuring out what custom foams to use. What's the best foam? You know, I used to use this stuff called Rebond, and Rebond literally is what they put under your carpet whenever they build a house, and it goes the Rebond, which is just basically 1/2 inch thick foam, and you put the carpet down on top of it. Well, that's the only foam I ever knew to get, and then I had to research where to find it. Well, after 20 years, I don't use that foam anymore. I look at that foam as the first rung in a ladder, the very first rung. As time goes on, I figure out there's other foams that really do a much better job, that hold up a lot better and work a lot better. And where did I learn that? Well, I learned that by talking to people. I learned that by discussing it with other people that do stuff similar to what I do. And that's where they started out. And now I'm figuring out, hey man, that makes more sense. But was there a school I went to learn how to do it? Was there a class that I took, or was there a buddy that said, hey, let me show you what I know? No, there wasn't. And if you know the story behind me owning American Drag Seats, you know damn good and well I never meant to be a motorcycle seat builder. That was never a thought in my head. The only reason I bought a sewing machine was because I simply couldn't afford to get my Camaro reupholstered. And after the third guy told me $5,000 to recover 4 seats and a headliner, I lost my shit. You know, I was like, well, for that price, I'll have to learn. I'll teach myself. And I bought a sewing machine from a very arrogant, cocky guy at an upholstery shop for $300. And I literally taught myself how to sew. I taught myself how to do it. And it's like anything else in my life. When I want to do something, I'm going to take the time and I'm going to learn it. You know, you can't kick me. If you knew where I came from in life, you can't hurt me. You can call me every name in the world you want. It's not going to hurt me, because as a little kid between the ages of about 6 and 14, I was bullied so bad it was relentless. And there's a whole story behind why I was bullied, this, that, and the other. But the fact is I came out just fine. That bullying just taught me. It taught me a lot of life lessons. But the reality is it taught me I'm not going to stop. I'm never going to stop. You know, there's so much that's happened in my life just over the last let me see, November, December, January, February, just the last 4 months, that eventually I'm going to do a show on what happened in my life the last 2 months of 2023 and the first 2 months of 2024. I will let you guys in on it. And all of y'all are going to be like, what the fuck? Holy shit, I can't believe that happened. Why didn't you tell us? Well, there's a reason I can't tell you. And when time goes on, I will be able to tell everybody. And believe you me, I will tell everybody. I'm transparent. I'm an open book, and I'm going to guarantee it's going to be a good show when I do that. But on to what I was discussing about your secret closet haters. You have secret closet haters that no matter what you do, they're always going to find a fault with it. They're always going to find a reason to say, well, I'm just telling you the truth, man. I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I'm telling you the truth. Well, the reality is that's still a problem. It's still an issue. It's still a situation. You know, like I tell everybody, my best friend, Troy has always been what I would consider my biggest fan, but he also holds me to a level that, you know, he's like, dude, you went up the ladder 10 runs, and that seat you just did is about on the 8th run. Go back and redo it. You're better than that. That's what he tells me. But I've also got friends that'll tell me, yeah, it looks all right. And I know damn good and well they're not telling me the truth. They're patronizing me. So I highly rely on my buddy Troy, because Troy doesn't sugarcoat it, but he's not an asshole about it. He always prefaces it with, man, that looks cool. But you know as well as I do, you can do better than that. And I'm like, yeah, dude, that's what I thought. But that's why I sent it to you, because I wanted to make sure you're seeing what I'm seeing. But then there's sometimes I'm like, God damn, dude, I did the best I could. And he's like, no, you didn't. You did the best you thought you could. Now get back in there and redo it again. You're better than that. I appreciate the criticism when it's like that. When they say, okay, I really don't know, was thinking a gift. Hold on, I'm missing some here. Am I remembering right? You have to have the seat pan to build one. Yes. Wait, hold on. What she said. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Breaking in build one, right? Yes. Seat pans can be built special for a bike. That's right. She said, I'm broke. He can make them, but usually would need the bike itself to build. He makes a mold on the bike itself. Yep. Doesn't mean nothing bad can happen to you. It means when bad shit happens, you can pull yourself out of it. You can make lemonade out of lemons. What kind of bike you talking about? Okay, I really don't know. I was thinking a gift. Kevin knows who. I'm so lost. Okay, cool. Okay. Uncle Bruno, it seems go with your heart. What's up, Bruno? I guess YouTube uses your email name as default unless you set things up. Yes. So what the reason I'm telling you guys this is because Devin has been building a bike for the last 6.5 months. In the last 6.5 months, he's gone through every nightmare, every problem, every issue you can have with a bike that came from another shop. And it was just so bad, we really couldn't even do a seat pan on it. There was just not enough there to do a seat pan. And it turned into a big thing. The other builder wouldn't give the parts back, wouldn't do this, wouldn't do that. And so much had to be fixed and modified and done. And I'm sitting here and I'm very proud of Devin for what he did, because the bike looks fucking amazing, because I saw the process. I saw what he put into it. But someone else said, don't post pictures of that bike because the paint job, because the way that the customer wanted it painted doesn't look good. I know the comments are flying by, and I'm trying to stay on topic, but you need to see Nancy. I can help you out. We'll figure it out. And what we can't figure out, man, them two kick-ass boys of yours will definitely know how to help me out so I can make that happen. All you got to do is message me, hit me up. Uncle Bruno can send you my cell phone number, and you can send me a text message. But anyway, back to the bike. So for those that don't know, there's a whole torrid story behind Legacy Bike Works itself. But literally the first 3 bikes we did were because somebody else didn't do them right, didn't want to finish them up right, whatever the case is. But it just seems like the bulk of our work has been fixing things that didn't go right from another builder. But the reality is every single one of the bikes got done. Customers were happy, and now they're loyal customers, and they come back to us. My whole point is that there's a fear factor in here where we want to show a bike, but now it's been brought to our attention because the bike is what it is. Nobody's going to like it. They're going to make fun of it. They're going to pick on it. So my whole point is I'm going to show the bike when it's done. Another 2, 3, 4 weeks, the bike will be finished. When the bike's done, we're going to post pictures of it, but we're going to go in a little bit deeper on this one. And we're going to show the before pictures, the during pictures, and the after pictures, just simply to show what he's capable of, what he did, how he did it. And then when people want to say, oh no, he doesn't know, that's what they get. That right there, that's what they get. Yes, he does know. He paid his dues. He learned. He sacrificed. And it's a good thing. It wasn't given to him. He could never have appreciated it if he was on the phone with somebody and somebody said, oh yeah, do this. Oh yeah, do that. Oh yeah, do this. Because you're not earning it. When you're stuck and you don't have anybody in your corner that knows or can help you, and you are forced to figure it out, that's what separates, in my opinion, the long-term builders versus the short-term builders. Your long-term builders aren't in this for that one bike. They're in it because of the craft. They're in it because of the creativity and the love for building. Just like motorcycle seats. I've got friends that have been around before I ever even knew how to sew, before I ever did any of this. I mean, I used to own a car wash. Before I owned the car wash, I was a Toyota certified master mechanic. So how in the hell did I end up in motorcycles doing upholstery? How did I end up being a metal fabricator for a plant? I was an automotive mechanic for over 10 years, and an ASE certified mechanic at that. How did I end up here? Well, events happen, things happen, and you roll with the punches. You go with it. You make life happen. If you sit back, and all you're going to do is wait, man, nothing's going to happen. Just like in the next 6, 8, 10 months, I'm going to tell you guys what happened over the last 4 months of my life. And I'm going to tell you what I did, why I did it, what I went through, what I had to go through. There's a plan. There's a reason for everything. And it legitimately sucks, which brings me to the second half. What's happening, X? Is when you're in the position that I'm in, I'm not the most popular human being by any stretch of the imagination. I don't have hundreds of thousands of followers following this channel, but I still, at the level I'm at, I still have supporters and haters. And it amazes me because the supporters will turn into haters and the haters will turn into supporters of no fault of my own, other than me just sitting here doing a show, communicating, keeping the show going. And just like tonight, there's no real reason to watch this show tonight. I'm not talking about anything that I've never not talked about before. I just don't have someone to interview, but I do want to make sure everybody knows it's Thursday night. The show is going to happen, and I'm going to be getting interviews. I'm trying so fucking hard right now to get a couple of people It's not funny. If I could get Ricky Rocket, the drummer for Poison, if I could get him to do an interview on this show, which he told me 4 years ago he would do it. I've got pictures of me and Ricky together. He told me he was going to do it. I can show you text messages where he told me he was going to do it, but he's never followed through. You know, if I could get him on here and get you guys to see who Ricky Rocket really is, yes, he is the drummer of Poison, but the dude is heavily into motorcycles like you wouldn't believe. He has his own YouTube channel about motorcycles. He has his own YouTube about him and, Poison. He has his, he's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And those are just the tips and the scratches of the surface. He's been into hot rods as long as I've known of Poison because he's got pictures and proof and everything back. Anyway, he would be somebody that would be really, really, really good to interview, not because he's the drummer of Poison, but because of everything he does in the automotive world and the motorcycle world and things like that. He'd be very interesting on the show. But here and again, trying to get him to actually follow through and say, do the interview like he said he would do, that's the hard part. I've reached out to Billy Lane. I've reached out to Jesse James. I've reached out to Paul Jr. I've reached out to Horny Mike. There's so many fucking people I've reached out to, and I've never actually been told no. I have, on the other hand, been told, email me. And then you email them, and they never reply. They just never get back to you. So what I'm probably going to have to do is I'm probably literally going to have to catch them in Sturgis, catch them at one of the rallies, and just stick a fucking mic in front of their face and say, hey, look, dude, you said you would do this. Here I am. Let's get it done. I hate the circumstances because we could have done this at your leisure and then put it out there. Everything would be badass. But anyway, so that's my whole point with the show is that's why the shows have only been about 30 minutes here lately, other than when I do an interview, because most 99% of the time I'm just sitting here rambling just to let you guys know the show is still here. It's still going. We're still doing stuff. Just like this coming Thursday, there's not going to be a show Thursday night, but there are going to be live videos Friday and Saturday. And it's not just going to be one, it's going to be multiple videos. Well, okay, Tim, how do you get a hold of him? Do you have an email address for him, a Facebook page where he's going to read it and want to do stuff? But here and again, it's another one of those things where you want to do something, you have the best intentions of doing something. It doesn't always work out. Sometimes you're on a path from south to north, and somewhere along the way, you have to go west. You have to go west to keep a forward motion going. And it's not always fun. It's not always cool. The reason is because just like the shows, I literally used to have anywhere between 60 and 80 people a day watching the show. Now, right now, I can see 9. That's what it says. There's 9 people watching. And I appreciate that. And I'm thankful for you 9, just like I was appreciative of the other 80 or 90 that used to watch. But what I learned in this industry is most everybody is self-servant. They, as long as it's benefiting them, they want to help you. And there's one particular interview I did where they did everything to stroke my ego to get me to do an interview with them. Told me everything I wanted to hear. And as soon as the interview was over with, ghosted. Just ghosted. And there's a name for it. And I'm not going to say the name because I don't feel like being an asshole. But if I said the name, it wouldn't matter. They don't watch the show anyway because they actually got what they wanted when they wanted it, made the sales they wanted to make, and then they're gone. There was no loyalty to me because there is no loyalty to this show other than the people that actually enjoy watching me do this, which I do. I will say this. I do think it's very comical when I'm at, events or, and I doing something, I'm not even talking about the motorcycle world. When I'm just out doing an event, like I was at a industrial cook-off a couple of weeks ago. And when I was there, man, there were people walking up to me and saying, like, dude, I love watching your show. I love watching your show. And I appreciate that, because I was like, wow, I didn't even know you watched the show. Because they don't comment that they're watching it. They don't interact with the show. They just put it up there and they're done. But that's why I tell people, man, if you watch the show and you're a fan of the show itself, just leave a comment so we know you're watching, so I can acknowledge you. I will be doing some pretty cool shit here in the near future. Not to mention the what's coming up this coming weekend, or this coming, not this coming weekend, but the following weekend, a week from today. What's going to be really cool about that is I've never done on the spot interviews before, but we're taking the grind 10 foot by 10 foot, taking the computer, and we're going to Chicago, going to the Cyclerama show, the World of Wheels. And I'm going to be set up at the Shy South Customs booth, and we're going to be doing interviews right there. So whereas right now you see me sitting here, you will eventually, well, let me turn it this way and go this way. You will end up seeing somebody beside me, and I'll be interviewing them live. And for those that don't know, yes, I do have a microphone. It's a pretty nice mic. I'm not all into holding that and getting big earbuds and doing all that shit. I'm not about that. I don't need it. It's not necessary for me. I've also been told I need to change up my background, the way I do it, and I need to look a little more professional. But I can say this. I can sit and I can hold this microphone just like this. I can take, let me just show you guys. I can take this computer and push that computer way back there and have this right here. So I have a microphone in front of me. And then my granddaughter. Ta-da, ta-da. See my little grandbaby. But at the end of the day, it makes no difference. That's not the difference. So I bring it back over here to me. I've still got the mic right here. I just set the mic out of the screen because I don't think anybody wants to see a microphone. Maybe they do. Maybe they don't. I don't know. Google is your friend, Kevin. Yes. Call Exile. He answers the phone and or returns calls. Good guy. Thanks, Tim. That's what I appreciate that. I will reach out to him. Need a better camera too. Well, it's the camera on the laptop. But anyway, it is what it is. But without any financial support of this show, I can't do a whole lot, because even a simple microphone like this is damn near $100. But I do have another microphone sitting over there that I used for the first couple of years. It's pretty badass too. I would eventually, one fucking thing is I'd like to get better lighting, but hell, I looked around at some of the lighting to change it up just in here, and dude, that stuff is pretty flippin' expensive for the good LED lighting that doesn't shine really bright right here and then causes my face to be dark. There's a light over there. The way the lighting sets up would be way better. So yeah, there's room for me to grow. But unless I'm going to go start a GoFundMe page, you guys are going to, Kickstarter or something like that to put some money in my pockets, this is going to have to grow organically, and we're just going to have to grow together. And we'll all look back one day and say, man, you remember when he did this? The first 4 or 5 years he did this. It's part of the program. It's part of it. But anyway, I've rambled enough for tonight. All I want to tell you guys is when someone calls you or someone talks to you and wants to discuss something with you, open your ear, be clear, be supportive, and try not to be judgmental. Anyway, you guys go have a kick-ass night. We will see you all. Pay attention, not next Thursday, but Friday in Chicago, World of Wheels, Cyclerama, doing interviews. Be all throughout the day. They'll be there. Need old sinners and saints there. But we do need him there, but he ain't going to be there. He's got other stuff going on. But anyway, you guys go have a kick-ass night. We'll see you guys soon next Friday.